You're very welcome back to House 2018. We're coming to you live from Dublin's RDS this morning. A very good morning to you. This is Interiors Heaven. And just to add to my delight, we're joined by someone who's widely regarded as one of the UK's leading interior designers, Jo Hamilton. Good morning to you, Jo.
Good morning, Anna.
So I believe, Jo, you've been having a little look around at the trends going on here this morning. Not that you need to be told about interiors trends, but you've picked out some of the key trends for us to focus on, and you're going to show us ways that we can all incorporate them into our own living space, regardless of its size, I suppose.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it has to be said, some of the things here we see are fabulous, but they're not necessarily for the real world, are they?
Well, I think it's a case of understanding how trends work and how to slot them into your life and into your home successfully. So they can be for the real world. You just have to know which pieces to pick out.
And how to incorporate them in.
Exactly.
Okay, one of the first trends is textures. So we're seeing lots of embellishment, lots of applique details. But how can we apply that to our own home, Jo?
Well, I think that one of the keys to success always is how to use texture, and incorporating texture into your home is vital to the success of the scheme. So I think we're seeing at the moment a lot going on in terms of texture, and the key is layers. So layer on layer on layer is what works best. So if you have a beautiful scheme and you've got your fabulous background, you need to just then layer and complement. You don't have to use colour. People worry that I have to use colour to add interest, but actually every scheme needs texture.
Texture does it for you.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about these tiles? Because we've seen this trend for the last while, the very, the busy, ornate tile. Is this still very popular? Is it still on trend? If people are, buying new interiors, they might feel, oh, Janie, this trend is almost about to go. It's sticking around.
Oh, absolutely. This is a really hot trend. So the encaustic cement tile, it's lovely. It's got a beautiful kind of powdery finish. And anything that makes you want to touch is a great addition. So the encaustic tile with pattern really is a lovely addition to any home. This is from Halo Tiles, who are here, great company. This drinks cabinet I've fallen in love with. This is by Orchard Living. Well, it's by Flamand for Orchard Living. But again, you've got this lovely sculptural element. Sculpture's sculpture and shape is another big addition to any interior. This has both, so you've got both this gorgeous texture with the natural wood. Natural materials are really fabulous, and that kind of open grain just kind of has that lovely texture, varying your
Something
textures.
very luxe about a drinks cabinet, isn't there? And then you add that texture. Yeah. And it's lovely. You are also holding this lovely throw.
So then
not letting go of this, actually.
It's so
cozy.
It's lovely. But again, you can see with the wood, the encaustic tile, and then the fabric as well, the layer on layer really works. So adding linens, any silks, anything that any kind of layers in cushions or the throw just really kind of sets the whole thing off.
Brilliant. Okay, so good tip. The next trend is metallics, and we've got some examples, because I know you've scoured this place, haven't you? So these are really your picks.
Yes.
So talk us through some of these metallics. They're not going away either, are they?
They're absolutely not going. So I think for years we've seen a real trend for the cooler toned metallics, so chromes and nickels, which have been okay, but it's quite a kind of safe go-to.
Yes.
I love that we've moved away from that, and the trend now is very much for the warmer toned metallics, so brass, bronze, complemented by the blackened brass as well. So just kind of layers. We've just got kind of the blackened brass here, we've got the antique finish here, and then the mirror.
So are we moving away from the rose gold and the copper that were really popular last year, or are they still on trend,
They're
Jo?
absolutely still on trend, but I think we've moved from the kind of cooler tones into warmer tones. That includes the coppers and brass and so on. But for me, I really see us moving towards bronze and black for 2018.
Yeah, this is a lovely combination, actually, isn't it?
Yeah,
okay, one last trend. Well, your third trend this morning. And Pinterest is always a really good gauge of what's hot and what's in fashion, I suppose. And they reported a huge surge of searches for green marble.
Right. Well, that ties in beautifully with what I think is going on as
well. You agree with Pinterest?
I do. So again, we've seen marble as quite a safe kind of traditional trend. It hasn't been that relevant, but we've moved into using a lot of marbles, but particularly whiter marbles. Now we're seeing a trend towards the coloured marbles, so brown, blue, green, but green particularly strong.
Yes.
And it works beautifully with when it's complemented with those warmer toned metallics. Green is a cool colour, so complementing it with the warmer toned metals.
Because I feel, Jo, looking at this brown and the green, it kind of takes me back to childhood almost. You know, it's kind of 60s, 70s, 80s kind of a feel about it. But I suppose when it's put with the metallic, it brings it up to date.
I think that's exactly it. It's not. It's really up in a new league. We're playing with marble in a new way, which I think is really exciting. I love this table at the bottom here. This is it's a gorgeous shape. It has a kind of mid-century feel to the shape of it, and then complemented with the metals. It just really works beautifully.
Okay. Are you impressed with the style and the interiors here today, Jo?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a real treat walking around and seeing what everyone's doing.
It is, isn't it? It's like a treasure trove.
It is indeed. It is. Yes. So it's fantastic. Very strong.
Well, thank you for taking the time. I know you have a busy schedule here in Dublin, so we'll let you get on with this.
Okay.
But thank you for talking to us, Jo Hamilton.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Now, lots more from House 2018, but for now, back to studio.
Thank you, Anna. We are up on the catwalk next. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.